Good evening, Trinidad and Tobago. It is today, Sunday the 19th of August. It is 9 o'clock. We're doing an impromptu live. We come to live and chat and talk a little bit, discuss some of what's going on in the public space. And while the audience building, if you could, please share it with everyone. Let them know we're here. Calypso. Calypso, big tune. You see Janet Jackson doing soca. No, I didn't see that at all. We still at 126. It's a Sunday evening where everybody call them out now, man. You know they're blocking me. You know they're interrupting the notifications. Get past it. Just send it in your newsfeed. Just go to the bottom of the video and click share. Let's get everybody here now. We talking. Calypso. Calypso. My whole news feed is Trump. All day, all night, Donald Trump. Some of the stupidest things. Does Donald Trump use real maple syrup imported from Canada or American corn syrup? You name it. You name the idiocy, the stupidity, the nonsense. You could think it all over social media. Donald Trump. They ain't giving him a day. They ain't giving him an hour. They ain't giving him a minute. You're doing the work. You're president of the United States. But all the people have you under a microscope. The leaders of Palestine and Israel shook hands for the first time in front Bill Clinton. In front Bill Clinton, the world media present, one of the biggest events in history. And they wait for the question and answer time to ask, is it true that first question, is it true that Monica Lewinsky possesses a dress with your DNA on it? You see, I want to tell you, it sounds ridiculous, but people who take you see Justin Trudeau got a nice holiday to dance Indian dance, smoke weed in public, go in the gay pride parade, and all those nice stunts. And that's cool. Keep it up, no problem. People love a good stunt, but they also, in developed first world countries, you better bring more to the table than stunts. And Justin Trudeau, who the world wanted to anoint his feet and rub his head, in trouble in Canada, under pressure right now. The Prime Minister of England, the greatest Prime Minister of England in history was Margaret Thatcher, and they interrupted her term in office. When it was time for Gordon Brown to give up. John Major, Bossy Throat. The people of developed countries, look what's going on in Germany, look what goes on in France, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Greece, Iceland, Norway, Switzerland, Finland, Holland. Look at what goes on in Japan. Look at what goes on in Australia. These people, these countries, the last president of Brazil in trouble. He have a jail to make. India, Pakistan. Go and look at what goes on in these countries. Even China for all its totalitarian dictatorship. Go and look and see what happens to corruption and mismanagement in China. China didn't become the most powerful nation in the world overnight. And they didn't get there by pelting stone and ignoring bullshit from the government. We are the only country in the world, the only one, that doing what we're doing. I mean, there are other failed nations. There's Somalia, Haiti. I think that's about it. We on a short list. Guyana gone past. Dominica gone past. Grenada gone past. We are the failed nation of the Caribbean. Trinidad and Tobago. And while you looking to point fingers, because I not, because I taking the blame. All of we have to take the blame. All of us have to take the blame. We've engaged in a level of jackassery as a people, second to none, nowhere in the world. And what I can't get past is the African vote and the Indian vote in Trinidad and Tobago so locked in a stupid struggle, a foolish struggle only for politics. They're like the gangs that marking territory and painting lampposts for property they will never own. Jackassness, dead and young, others killing you, police killing you. You're a jackass, painting your name on lamp. But I mean, I know, they have no hope in this country. But come back to the Afro and the Indian vote. The Afro and the Indian vote calling out, we time now. And when their party, whatever is their party get into office, they have nothing to get. And as long as they're so stupid, so insipid, so foolish to believe that a title, we time now is we rich, we in power now, but all they getting nothing. Nothing. It takes social media and the Progressive Empowerment Party in a short 19 months to expose how much holes there are in everything that passes for government and governance in this country, that the PNM not even trying to hide the wholesale theft of PEP policies, but are waiting for Carl Members and Keith Rowley, if Keith Rowley win the internal election, because apparently they want to kick his ass out. But I'm waiting on them because I have their manifestos, and I have Vision 2020, and I have Vision 2030, and all of their recent policies. The last 5 things they announced came straight out of Reboot the Republic, the Progressive Empowerment Party's manifesto for redeveloping Trinidad and Tobago. The PNM is a joke. It's never been a real party. It's always been a front for corruption and theft. Everything that you think that the PNM built in this country, they built it to steal money. Nothing has ever been done on budget, under budget, and on time. Everything has been a means and a mechanism by which friends, family, and financiers could steal money. Name the project. Call it. We are the country that spent $1 billion on a foundation for a racing complex that never happened. And they thief the foundation too. This is Trinidad and Tobago. Napa Sapa Tapa cost us $1.5 billion that we will be repaying for the next 30 years. China come here to stamp their foot on Trinidad and Tobago, you know. All them Chinese restaurants, Chinese grocery, yeah, custom it, you know. Just now. Brace. China want the money, you know. They ain't playing small stakes poker. And while the Afro vote and the Indo vote fighting for we time now, and the rest of the people in Trinidad and Tobago saying, well, I am black and I am Indian, so I can't vote, we're ending up with shit and more shit as a country. Failed nation. Third wealthiest. This is a conundrum. Third wealthiest in the Western world. Failed nation. Broken. Banana Republic. Narco state. Nothing works in Trinidad and Tobago. You don't want to hear this tonight? I don't want to say it. Let's see who more motivated. I don't want to be saying this anymore. I feel like I'm just barking for the sake of sound. I'm like one of them St. James stray dog that just barking all night for nothing. Because you're not, I don't know if we're paying attention. I don't know if we're waking up. I don't know. But the Afro vote and the Indo vote in this country has made some fabulously wealthy people that neither African nor Indian. Although some Indians pass in the rush though. I watched this fella, this guy with the, I don't even know the name of the thing, it's a Muslim organization. His name is Mohammed something, but he put out a video the other day, and every black person in Trinidad and Tobago should listen to that video. Everyone, every single one of y'all. Because every time you think that the PNM win and you win, you know what you end up with? You end up with, in a skit, you end up with Stuart Young telling all his gorillas. 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 All you take that. Or they even know what to do with that. Because it's your own party that you think supposed to stand for you calling you a gorilla. What's supposed to happen now? David Mohammed, that's his name. What's supposed, listen, go and find that video from David Mohammed and listen to that video. Listen to it. It's a fact. Tell all you I'm a half Syrian. I am 51 years old. When I was in school, Syrian ass was dragging on the ground. Dragging. I could tell you some of the most fabulously wealthy people in this country 30 years ago had not a pot to piss in, and 100 millionaires today. How come this is our reality? And Afros and Indians fighting. We win. We time now. Will they win? Will they win? Tell me. Because the country stalled, broken, failing, and it is all of you at the bottom rung who lining up in sun and rain to vote, who's saying you win, that losing the most. How come? How come it is the die-hard PNM communities that are the most squalid, desperate, and impoverished in Trinidad and Tobago? How come? And how come PNM people, PNM supporters, watch me, I come in at the UNC, stick a pin. Don't feel UNC getting away from this tonight. But let me deal with PNM now. Let me take it. Let me start from the top. Mova, Beta, Laventille, Ceylons, River Estate, Patna, Bagatelle, Rich Plain, Covey, Debe Hill, Mason, Factory Road. Look where we reach. La Puerta, Sanganga, Caranage, Abipujad, Big Yard, Scorpion, Cocorit, Waterhole, Hard in Place, Never Dirty. You know I ain't leave Diego Martin yet? All of those communities I just called, besides Mova, Bitam, Laventille, and Silots, all of the rest, Diego Martin. All of them. Go in Cocorit. Go Cocorit. When you see Bayside on your right, they have a street on your left. Go in there. Chantal Mondi asked why we're not campaigning in those areas, because Chantal Mondi, people inside of there are so desperate and hungry. It's small money to get me shot if I go inside that area to campaign against the PNM. That is the conundrum of the situation, because I would like to walk in every one of those communities every single day and wake up and inform and empower and educate the people. But small money does get people killed in this country. So I had to be very careful. Plain talk. So that's the answer to your question. But if you're heading out of Diego Martin, I want you to do something. Bayside Towers on your right, there's a walkover. Turn in by Cocorit. First Street, turn in there. Turn in there, and as you pass the 7 Days Hospital and that big ficus tree line they build to hide Cocorit from Bayside, just drive past one street and see what desperation looks like. Go in there. Go in Cocorit. Go in there. Somebody asked, this woman Delilah asked, how is now Fitzgerald Hines know the pressure those people living under? You talking about excavator? I watching white people in Trinidad and are calling all you out because all you don't know. So they're getting caught up in bullshit, repeating, parroting Fitzgerald Hines nonsense about beating people, robbing excavator drivers. Partner, if you had to jump up on the garbage truck to go in the labas, to dig and find things, to feed your family, you think you would be having that conversation? You think? Let me stop blaming and shaming each other. Let us join together. The people of Beaton do not want to be like that. They do not. Nobody wants to be like that. The people of Big Yard and Scorpion and Caranage, whose votes has fed Keith Rowley's daughters and possibly his sons for the 32 years he in politics. Those people in Diego Martin West is Rich Plain and Bagatelle and La Puerta and Covey that feed Rowley children. Go and see how they live. Go inside Abi Pujad. Go up in Big Yard. We just drive past it to go DDI. And they don't even watch up inside them streets. You ain't know the kind of terror and torment life is in a PNM diehard community. You don't know. You don't know. But this is a country where it is too easy to fool and divide and lead our people astray. And the disgusting and sinful UNC that came along to continue the madness of racist cultist voting in Trinidad and Tobago further isolated those black people. Because Dave Lux, be very cautious with the bullshit you're writing on my wall tonight. I'm going to take that serious. Don't tell me about people don't want to change. Everybody in this country want to change, but they've never been given a real opportunity. And I tell you that as a man. I have seen inside the PNM and the UNC, I have seen their policies, and I have seen them in government. And to this day, nobody has done anything for Beaton other than to build a wall to hide them from the rest of the country when Obama came and called it. Let me be real. When we in the West complaining about fire from the labas, them across the freaking highway, inhaling that and dying. You don't know, we don't know, I don't know the cancer rates and the sickness rates inside the Beaton. That is an insanity. We cannot continue to blame. Listen, I really gonna block all on my wall, you know. Don't be coming and telling me about who like it, so you know. That is bullshit, eh? Stop saying that. Stop doing people that. All what you're doing there is maintaining a stereotype and letting these nasty politicians off the hook. Stop doing that. Nobody in this world chooses squalor, suffering, poverty, and violence. Nobody chooses that. Everybody wants the same good life. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is the same for every creed and race worldwide. Human beings, that is the human condition, and we all want a better life. We all want a better life. But it has been failure of government and us as voters to not hold government responsible. Because for as long as those people live in Beaton, they're in a vicious circle because they can't come out. They have nowhere for them to go. And we saying they like it so the government could fail there. And this jackass Fitzgerald Hines could go and walk about. Peter O'Connor asks, oh, you now know they flooded? 60 years now? Is now you reach inside of there? Because you get some wet. Because they're finally standing up for themselves. Because they really now finally decide to stand up for themselves. I tell them, Mova Beaton Love until see lots. This is not a rich party. This is not a rich party. But we are a real political organization. And if you want real representation, I promise you, it is because of the desperately poor in this country that I am in politics. And if you really want, real representation, I will stand with you. There is no amount of bullshit. Keith Rowley and Stuart Young and Coleman Bud, tell them come. Let me debate in Beaton. I willing. Because they have no amount of bullshit talk. Keith Rowley could go and skin up his face for Hema Ramke soon. Come face to face, brother. Let me talk and bring Hema and the rest of the cameras. I will expose you and the vacuous inanity and depravity inside, keeping your 2 ears from fighting. Trinidad and Tobago has never ever had real government. We have never had a government of all the people. We've had bullshit, divisive, racist, cultist politics that has allowed financiers, friends, and family to plunder and pillage this nation under the guise of we time now. The people of this country, people of Mbakade and Enterprise and La Hoqueta too, all of them know. All of them know sufferation. They don't have a single person on my tread tonight who has left Trinidad and Tobago wanted to go. I don't care how sweet where you're living is. Trinidad is still home. And everybody who had to pack and leave, they had to leave because they had no choice. Because our country failed them and their families. And they wanted to go to a nation where first world policies existed, where hope and opportunity was a reality, where they could maximize their fullest potential. Here, we into vagina politics. Here, get them drunk, keep them stupid, dumb them down, give them an education system and have them foolish. Tell them carnival is what you for, wine on a bamsi, drunken their ass. That's all that has passed for leadership. So now that the climate is changing and Mother Nature is having her say, Fitzgerald Hines went down there to pose and posture and stunt, and they wet his ass. And they was damn right. In any other country in the world, you think that could have happened in France and all they driving up and down normal on the Beaton? They'd have shut the country down right there. You'd have get 10,000 tractor park up right there at the entrance to the city, and the government would either fix it or call an election. That is how politics in a democracy is done. But we, too blasted selfish, once we have food in we fridge, fire truck them. Plenty of us are giggling jackasses, happy to go about with business, blaming them. We like to talk that bullshit, you know. We like to talk, you can't help them. Like that's a different breed. That is human beings and our Trinbagonian brothers and sisters. And the day we wake up to what we've allowed to take place in our name, we would be ashamed. We'll cry tears for generations to come. Trinidad and Tobago is not like this because of a handful of people. Trinidad and Tobago is like this because all of we either decide to vote racist or not to vote at all. And look where we reach. To blame people for their condition is an abomination. We, as one country, the only way we're going to rise is if everybody rises. The irony is that those people that live in those communities are the biggest spending power in this country that keeps every business open. The lowest class in Trinidad and Tobago, it is their labor and their consumption that makes every one of those big shot companies survive today. If tomorrow, Morva, Beetham, Lavatel and Sealots, just those four, stop buying KFC closed down. If Diego Martin West, if from Bagatelle to Abi Pujad, punish Blue Waters closed down. And I am not telling people to do that. I am just trying to tell you that these people, don't watch them slide. They are the economic engine that drives this country. That's who they are as well. It is their labor that puts the gas in your car. We don't know, you know. We treat these people who live in these communities with scant courtesy and total disrespect. But that's 700,000 in all of those diehard communities. That is 700,000 people that are the engine of Trinidad and Tobago. All of us who just want to play big shot and rock back and coast while staff doing the work. Pray to never see a week where staff don't show up, you know. Because all of a sudden, your friend in the bank that used to be calling you to shit talk to go for drinks down on the avenue, your friend in the bank calling you to say, hey, your deposit's late, your overdraft riding, what's going on? The profit potential of the masses, the 99%, is what holds the 1% up. And I am saying to Trinidad and Tobago, the disparity in economic distribution in this country is not capitalism. This is capitalism without compassion. We have no concern for our people. In Trinidad and Tobago, we treat this country like a carcass. And all of us are vultures, hyenas, wolves, any carrion that could come. And worms, maggots, we just want to eat. Everybody just want to feast. We don't treat Trinidad and Tobago like a country that will be here generations to come. To everybody in Trinidad and Tobago, succeeding is not a master's or a PhD, you know. Succeeding is a green card and a ticket out. Trinidad and Tobago cannot compare itself to any other nation on planet Earth because the people of Trinidad and Tobago do not love their country. If we had loved this Trinidad and Tobago, we would have never allowed these things to take place for the past 56 years. All of the symptoms of all of the problems that we endure now are our doing. That is our chickens coming home to roost. And I want to tell you this, it ain't done deteriorate. It ain't done get bad. And all the water cannon, and all the APV, and all the suppression and government boots, all that will happen to Trinidad and Tobago is it will become a worse and worse place to live. We need to stop the bullshit. We need to elect to office a government that understands the well-being of all the citizens is the function, purpose, and reason government boys and girls have a job. And if they don't raise the condition of all the people, we need to fire them. I will never forget when I explained to Suraj Rambachan, when Kamla was in government and Suraj was the Minister of Works, and Suraj, who never understood what, he don't know what Diego Martin is, he from wherever, and he came up in Diego Martin and he closed the switchback in opposite Cocorite. And I told him there were two switchbacks. One that if you're going west, you could switch back and go east. And one if you're coming from west, you could switch back and head west. He closed the one that if you're coming from the east, heading west, to swing back and go back east. And I called him on the phone and I told him, you are going to cause a riot you're going to cause a riot there. He tell me, let me suck it and see, let him try it. Yeah, you know. I tried to explain to him, my friend, you just added $2 taxi fare. You just added $2 taxi fare 2 ways to people who are $4 extra is a lot of money. They are not going to take that. You've just taken every tanty and granny and maid and housekeeper that living in those communities that dropping out there to walk up a hill. You just drop them in 4 roads and make them have to walk an extra 3 miles to get home. Worse, because you remove the switchback, people are going to drive into Westmoreland by Hilo and come out by Admiral Court to become a new switchback, and you will have created traffic in Columbus Circle as a line of maxi taxi and dump truck and other vehicles trying to make a new switchback to head back. Suraj Rambachan hung up on me. I called 95.5 and I told them, I put out a release at 95.5, took an interview with me. I said, this is a prescription for confusion at a level that you don't understand. Cocorite will light that street on fire and Westmoreland will give them wood to burn, because this man, this crazy man, Suraj Rambachan, has united the people in common discomfort and misery. So said, so done. The following morning, 5:30, Western Main Road, Cocorite, the entire thing on fire. He caused that. You have to know and you have to treat with people. You cannot come around and call yourself government and inflict misery on people. The country is a country with or without you. If you are not capable of serving the people to their well-being, do not come. Nobody is sent for nobody, whoever was in government. Nobody sent for Manning. Nobody sent for Pandey. Nobody sent for Kamla. Nobody sent for Rowley. All of them come begging for their work. All of them come talking a bag of ass that they have a better understanding of how things are supposed to be done. And each and every single one of them, like Eric Williams Chambers and even Robbie before them, people say, don't get Robbie stick. Robbie have real licks to get to. They have things that were supposed to be done under the NAR that were never done. And after Napoleon, Raymond Robinson went to his grave knowing why he didn't do it. This is a corrupt and broken society. And it is time that we stop deifying and worshiping public office holders and get them to do their jobs or fire their ass, because nothing else is going to work. You could turn on your television set in the morning and be entertained while highly paid talking heads jiggle and giggle for you and feed you long spoons of bullshit, or you could wake up and demand better. No civilized, first world, developed country got that way by accident. It was the will, the unshakable will of the people that made it so. It is time for us to become one people. It is time to stop the bullshit that Rapai Village and Beatam different. They're not. They're suffering the same sufferation. It is the same no water, the same bullshit education, the same high cost of food, the same jamming in the bank. It is the same pressure. It is the same suffering and danger. It is the same squalor and poverty. It is the same catch-ass when mommy and tanty and granny and papa had to reach in the hospital. Nothing separates the conditions of the grand grandchildren of Africa and India. Nothing. They are united in common struggle. And the day they realize that, the day they join hands as one people under one flag, all of this bullshit, all of this madness that passing as government in Trinidad and Tobago, we will reject it out of hand. Spent abroad only longing to be home. Trinity to the bone. Listen to what he's singing.
Lord, I pray that someday I will no longer have to roam. Trinity to the bone. Trinity to the bone.
Listen up.
The problems we have are plain to see. We prove we can stand the scrutiny. All I know that true democracy. How we vote is not how we party.
How we vote is not how we party. That is the great lie that has been told to the people of this country to separate and divide them by race. Trinidad and Tobago is the only nation on planet Earth where the grandchildren of Africa and the grandchildren of India have conflict. The Mahatma Mohandas Gandhi, his first struggle, his first activism was in Africa as a lawyer, fighting apartheid. Fighting apartheid. Yes, Chantal, that's what he's saying. Trinity to the bone, living in Canada. Chantal, my brother, Paul Alexander, is a brilliant epidemiologist. He works for Canada Health. He is the front man, the front line. When they have a SARS and a swine flu, they just fly him all over the world. That's what he does. He wants to live in Trinidad and Tobago. His two children, Nicholas and Jennifer, grow up. He adopted a little girl from India. All of his children grow up, man, woman, adults, never having the connection to Trinidad and Tobago that they should have had. And all my brother wanted was to live in Trinidad and Tobago. But it wasn't possible. In Trinidad and Tobago, it's catch ass for him. But in Canada, big work in Canada Health. Here, he'd have to be bribing and kicking back. Well, you know how many people in this country have big jobs that giving a piece of their salary every month to the man who organized the job for them? Well, you know that? This country, so corrupt, so disgusting. None of them will explain that to you. None of them will admit it. That is how broken this nation is. A collection of little fiefdoms, of little tin pot dictators. Listen, man. If you want a better country, you have to stand up and demand it. That is how it is done all over the world. All over the world, every civilized, developed country in the world. That is what happened. The people of the country said, this is not good enough. We deserve better. We want better. We want a better nation. And it starts there. It begins there. There are thousands of brilliant Trinbagonians waiting to come back home with expertise in criminology, psychology, law enforcement, medicine, law. There are people here with the greatest amount of knowledge in anything. Listen, man, what we spend on bullshit, on theft, on bacchanal. Manning spend money that could have paid for a space program in Trinidad and Tobago. There are African countries putting rockets in space, putting satellites in space, and being paid big millions of US dollars for the service. And in Trinidad and Tobago, we can't even get a boat successfully between Trinidad and Tobago. You see this place a joke, man.
I visited Parliament Chamber, witness an orchestra, a bang, 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 of only politicians, well, rated their performance and style, talent and endurance, a bang, 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 of parliamentarians. Politics that encourage hate, making good folks discriminate, bridges replaced by gates.
Politics that encourage hate, making good folks discriminate, bridges replaced by gates.
From the UNC and the PNM, COP and the political symphony. It's a symphony. The TOP, MSJ and JAC and the political symphony. It's a symphony. Stop taking it cool. Don't be played for a fool.
They're using race as a tool to divide, conquer, and rule. That's the truth, and that is the reality, and that is what allows it to continue. And that is why a small handful of oligarchs, people who have put themselves in position to wash dirty money, using your treasury as if it's their own cash register, and you, the masses, 1.4 million of you, playing dotish games. Playing dotish games. Talking we time now. We time now. When has it ever benefited the people of this country? I am watching and looking at what passes for government. Keith Rowley put out a skit that insulted every woman in this country, every Hindu in the country, and then said, "Here apologizing for nothing, kiss his ass, no problem." Xiao Chang said it was all fun. Satmarad said nothing wrong with it. Pressure upon pressure. Pressure to bust pipe. PNM reeling under the pressure because it's not UNC. It's not Kamla and her 20 friends outside the PNM office. Nobody taking Kamla on anymore. All of this foolishness done. People talking about Michaela this and Michaela that, but Basdeo Pandey done check the numbers. Nobody following a new UNC. And the only people that Michaela could pull to her is people like Ganga Singh and Carlos John and Tim Gopi Singh and Next Dinosaur Party. People wants nothing to do with that. Do not give us old wine in new skin. We're not taking that. And Basdeo Pandey put out a post today that he's going to get, what? You want to stop being angry and greedy and all kind of bullshit. And somebody asked, no, you just realized. But anyway, Short Young had to come back now. Short Young had to come back now and apologize that it was wrong. So how is it wrong now? You don't believe it's wrong, but you're bowing to public pressure. So that is even worse. That is having a government in office that has such a dim view of Hindus and women that it believes that kind of madness normal. That is your Kid Rowley and your Stuart Young government. And you should fire them for that. Because they didn't apologize because they think it is wrong. They apologize because you put pressure on them. And it is time that that pressure gets more than cheap apologies. They need to have to answer. Daryl Duku, you never hear me call that jackass name. But watching the stink, divisive, racist comments coming out of that Neanderthal's mouth and knowing that the PNM knows that that is one of theirs, Keith Rowley should be fired for not distancing himself from Daryl Duku and the comments that coming out of that stink and dirty mouth. And I should never have had to say that. It should never have been my job. I should not have the responsibility of telling the government what its job is, but it's not a real government. You will never get on a maxi taxi to go home at the end of the day and sit down and direct the driver how to drive. So why must I be continuously directing the government how to do its job properly and with respect for all? How? What happens now to Satmaraj and the rest of the Hindus in the country? Are they going to take chain up from that bullshit artist who only interested in fixing himself now? Eh? Satmaraj wanted to show that he think that he still have some kind of power over Hindu votes. I'm glad that the people reject all of them and their bullshit. I am totally happy to see that. I was given some information this morning that I had to put out in the public space, and I wrote it as Ragamuffin Love. All of you who thinks that the PNM and the UNC are two different parties, pay attention to this. And this is just one tiny thing. The Ganga Singh that sold out Pandey to Dukaran for position, sold out Dukaran to Kamla for position, is now selling Kamla to Rowley to help the same Pandey he sold out in the first place. That almost made me giddy. The Satmaraj, who not even Hindus claiming anymore, has crossed the proverbial floor to support Rowley to punish Kamla over hijab. So now, having supported the same Rowley over Sari Skit, is left looking like an ass now that the same Rowley has apologized to Hindus because of it. What a tangled web we weave. Rowley himself, who is rumored to be making deals with the devil left, right and center to stay politically alive, seems to have misplaced his space in his own party. And die-hard PNMs are now asking if you have to be a red man, pink skin, Arab or UNC to get a post in Rowley government. I am being told that the imstock was thrown for the Imbert Cabal, who, for all his own pink skin, seems to be marshalling more guerrilla support than the first black Syrian, leaving many to surmise that the king of the infidels, Chief Double Tongue, and he who lies with ease, may not be leading the party much longer. Fuad Khan, who tried to play all sides, has found himself with no side and may face a former PNM MP as the UNC candidate for that same seat next time around. Vasant Bharat of the UNC C-team fame, whose feet they say can't touch the ground, is running to play catch-up with his has-beens and never-wases, hoping to get an end when the mark busts. The PNM internals has thrown Rowley and his loyalists to the wolves, leaving poor Fitzy to get a wetting and Stuarty plenty jobs to hold on, as no one wants to be part of that Rowley team. Rudal and Kamla's tug of war for control of the UNC is heating up in earnest, causing Kamla's sorry protests outside the Prime Minister's office to bust, as many who were coming were told within the UNC, stay away. You won't see any of this in the mainstream media though. Their job is to keep you distracted and fooled, as the financiers, owners of the media, pissed at all of that political infighting and turncoating, are struggling to keep a lid on things so that regardless of which of the bandit sides taste power, they could keep eating. T-fast, fellas, T-fast. Look like time running out. To the rest of you, you are woke yet? You are woke yet? One more thing I want to share. Until your politicians are willing to stand up to the lawbreakers in the chambers of commerce and those involved in the nefarious narcotics trade, tell them miss you with their foolishness and lies. TNT is broken by criminality by those with power and authority, including many well-known public office holders. You are not going to get change playing musical chairs with your government. At best, you'll get a different view. The better nation we seek is on the other side of equal justice meted out without fear or favor, malice or ill will. Besides a vision for the nation, your leaders need to have the courage to stand up to those who have deliberately and with purposeful intent broken this nation to their own advantage. Trinidad and Tobago can be fixed, but you need to elect to office people who are interested in fixing it. 56 years of PNM and UNC and nothing has changed. The third wealthiest nation in the Western Hemisphere with the potential to be one of the richest, most developed nations in the world. Instead, we are a failed state, a cesspool of disease and death. Our politics has been reduced to a sham, a fake blame game to distract, endless bacchanal and noise, and nothing changes. The poor get poorer, the middle class is collapsing, home ownership pushed so far beyond the average person's reach, most don't even dare to dream anymore. A nation where education fails more than half of our children and consigns them to lives of desperation, anxiety, and despair. Public health so rotten that nothing short of a commission of inquiry to determine where the 50 billion spent over the last 10 years on it actually went can fix it. You think the PNM or the UNC doing that when those who benefited from criminal corrupt enrichment are PNM and UNC financiers? The cost of food in this fertile land is an obscenity. We grow practically nothing. We, a nation that was a net food exporter up to the 1970s. Under the PNM and UNC, agriculture and food production has been destroyed so that a 1% of fabulously wealthy financiers could build their fortunes on the people's need to eat. Both parties have spent billions of dollars on water, yet no one in this country gets water 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Countries in the middle of deserts do that. We who get 20 times the fresh water we need as rain have no real water management plan, so we live through the ridiculous irony of droughts during floods. You are not going to get a nation that regulates the financial sector, especially a banking sector gone so rogue they pay practically no interest on depositors' funds and charge them ridiculous fees for the pleasure, as long as those banks are financing your governments through the PNM and the UNC. No, you won't get a better nation playing race cult wars. The Trinidad and Tobago you want requires strong leadership capable of enunciating a vision for a better TNT, who can map out step by step and dollar by dollar how we get from where we are to where we want to be. We have spent $3 trillion in the last 56 years with nothing to show for it. How could that be if either party was really interested in bringing the other to justice for their criminally corrupt crimes? The well-being of the citizens, all the citizens, is the reason we have a government. If they are not doing their job, it is your responsibility to fire them and put someone who will. This nation has every potential to be paradise on earth for you and your family. If you want it, stand together with the rest of the 99% suffering through mindless traffic on broken roads, lined up in banks to be taken advantage of, counting pennies in the groceries to make it through another meal, ducking and weaving and sleeping with one eye open, hoping and praying to not need to visit a hospital, pawning and scraping to pay the same teachers to teach the children what they for some reason are not being taught in actual class. Whether or not you know it or not, the contempt that has been handed out by government after government had nothing to do with race and everything to do with money. Your money in their pockets. If you are okay living in danger, in squalor, and in hopelessness, change nothing. Vote who you voted for before, or don't vote if you never voted. If what you want is a better nation, then let's talk. In 19 months, we have created a political movement that has begun the process of uniting the people and changing the national conversation. With your strength, we could grow from strength to strength. And with your vote, raise the tide that raises all boats, that makes hope and opportunity a reality for all our people. The choice is yours. And while I accept you never had a real choice before, you have one now. Some say I might be a bit abrasive in the way I speak. Others believe it's the right amount to convey the message that we, the 99%, every creed and race, are completely fed up. I can only be me. But I promise you, with your help, the better country we all need will become a reality. Don't be distracted by the loose and dirty dollars of those who want to keep you isolated, broken, and afraid. We can have the better country we always knew we always deserved. Stand up and stand together. Those who have broken this nation will be pursued wherever they hide and brought to sure and swift justice, regardless of name, rank, or who they know or cocktail party with. Our money will be reclaimed and replaced in the treasury to serve all the people. Big houses will be auctioned, fancy cars and jewelry repossessed and sold if they were purchased with criminal proceeds and ill-gotten gains. It is time that the people of Trinidad and Tobago stopped playing political games and excusing foolishness and stood together for a better, lawful and just TNT, where every creed and race not only found an equal place but got their fair share of the national pie. Look around you. The nation is waking up. Are you? If yes, come add yourself to the growing ranks of the awoke. We deserve a better nation. Let's stand together in our own best interests and make it so. And with that, I want to tell you, every single Saturday at noon, we meet 19 Stanmore Avenue. We gather from 10 p.m. for a management meeting that you could be a part of if you want to be on one of the teams that are building this party. This organization does not have deep pocket financiers funding our every move. We sell barbecue tickets and curry queues. We fund it by selling t-shirts and coffee mugs. We have some donors and we appreciate every single dollar that we get. If you want to help us financially, contact Sati Shramsaran, Felicia Holder, Carla Jean. Contact any of the members that you see on the wall, the usual suspects, and tell them, I want to help. Come out on a Saturday morning at 10 o'clock and say, put me on a team. I want to help build my better country. This is what I know and this is what I could do. Or just come at noon and be a part of the conversation. Let them know that the people of Trinidad and Tobago are waking up and we are ready to stand together for a better nation. Yes? Get past all of the machinations and all of the blocking. Let's let people know there is a real choice, a real movement, real options. Let us get together, stand together, and build a better Trinidad and Tobago. If you're ready, we're ready. To make a reward. I am going to put out $1,000 reward for a proper road in Trinidad and Tobago, not one they paved yesterday. If you know of a proper road in Trinidad and Tobago, take a picture and send it for me, because that seems to be as elusive as the Loch Ness Monster.
If they are the reason why the economy goes round, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the passing laws that them alone can vote, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is the building ISIS,
East, West, North and South.
they say where you vote them in, vote them out. Register and vote them out. Totally vote them out. State your finger and vote them out. Rescue the country, vote them out. Vote them out with tempo. They have been paid. Let's put our country together again. Vote them out with calypso and joyous refrain. Let's put our country together again.
3474PP is our number. peptrinbago@gmail.com is our email address. peptt.com is our website. PEP app, PEPAPP. PEP app is our app. Download it. It's yours free of charge. 3474PP. And our headquarters, as you know, 19 Stanmore Avenue. Every Saturday at noon, we're waiting you. Come and join us.
If their policy is a fallacy, bureaucracy, a catastrophe, if they cannot work and you see it so, then your only hope is for them to go.
Now, this is the truth. We can have everything that you know that we could have if we stood together. The question you have to ask yourself is, what keeps us from joining together as the 99%, the labor and the consumption, the owners, stakeholders of this country? What keeps us from uniting in common cause a better country? Because that is the question we need to answer. That is the hurdle we need to cross.
If it is fabrication, these statements that they spout, when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. If it is a frustration,
Does it make you want to shout?
when you're voting, vote them out. Vote them out. Before they misuse out,
T-phone sell out and mix out. The same way you vote them in.
vote them out. Register and vote them out. All of them, vote them out.
This country has a wealth of talented, brilliant people who've never been given the opportunity to do what they know how to do. We've been held captive by two dinosaur organizations, the same mocking pretenders, rotating in and out. Some new faces that just bench warmers. They call ministers, but they have no responsibility. They can't do nothing. The same dinosaurs in both parties running the country into the ground, thieving money, and their friends and finances and family getting fabulously rich. Neither of those parties will bring each other to justice. The entire nation is broken. We have public office holders sitting on public office desks that not doing their jobs. It is time for us to put a government in office to clean up Dodge, to bring all of these criminals and all of their co-conspirators to justice. We must forget nothing. We must go as far back as Johnny O'Halloran and come right up to now. They must know that we're serious. If you took our money under false pretenses, bring it back. Don't make us come looking for you, because we will charge you the cost of the search. Trinidad and Tobago, we need a better country. We cannot continue to leave this place for people to plunder and pillage and rape. This is not what our country was made to be. We call it paradise on earth convincingly. We say God is a Trinity, yet we treat it with scant courtesy. Come on. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we need to put the monsters of the red and yellow behind us. We need to see the UNC and the PNM as twin sides of the same cancer and stand together as 99% of the people who are the stakeholders and owners of this country, and every single public office holder who draws a salary. Their job is to serve us. The well-being of the citizens is the function and purpose of government. If you want a better Trinidad and Tobago, Saturday coming at noon, 19 Stanmore Avenue. You come, bring 5 friends. Let us start ourselves on a journey to a better Trinidad and Tobago. Looking forward to seeing you there. Until we speak again, stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.